Hello there, beautiful awakened ones. It's Monica Bermudez, an intuitive quantum energy healer, coming on to my YouTube channel to talk about some of the preparations for the 2023 as we're getting near and as we're ending the month of November, and just, combining a little bit of some of the December energy in the preview. And I'm going to make another video to talk about 5 things about December and keep it very focused on that, on the themes of December. But this is more of a preparatory for the year of 2023 and how we can use the month of December to our, benefit, to benefit from all these energies. So I personally have been going through a lot of different energies, and I feel like some may be feeling a lot smoother in the energies, and that is the case. I do feel that too. But when it was the new moon that just occurred, actually November 23rd, when it was at its highest peak, during that week of November 23rd, 24th, and through the 25th, I was feeling some really intense download of energies, and a lot of it was going through my crown and into the center of my head in the third eye. And it just felt like there was this other new activation that was occurring during that new moon cycle. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the moon cycles and the energies that they occur, by certain cycles, and they take certain peak of energies around specific times, right? And so to me, a lot of the different moon cycles, whether that's the new moon or the full moon, feel like portals of activations of energies. And so it is important, though, to do certain rituals that are, unique to yourself, if that is what's in your calling or resonates with you, and be with that energy. So for me personally, though, I was feeling that there was this amount of surge of energy that was so activating that it made me want to take more rest. And so that is, very important thing to know is to listen to your body and also pay attention to certain sensitivities to food or drinks, because I've noticed that my body gets extremely sensitive these days with all of these surge of energies that have been occurring. And so I want to talk about how, this is so important, jumping into this for the month of December and leading into the new year and getting ourselves ready for these new energies, because to me that was a preview of the new energies that are coming towards, the year of 2023, and where we're now in the thick of the things of the dismantling of the old. And what I mean is the identity and how we identify ourselves with the old system and the patriarch system or the matrix that we may find ourselves stuck in, certain challenges. And so this year of 2022, the number is equal to 6. So to me, number 6 is a symbolism of the heart center. So we were really emphasized of the heart center in our main focus. So it doesn't mean that it ends here this year. It continues into the new year of the 2023 and into moving forward, because the heart center is the key to our ascension and our energies and moving into these higher dimensional expansive selves that we are, multidimensional beings. And so we are, also like on, talking about like a little bit of the astrological events that are occurring, which are, also affecting these new energies as well in us, in each and every one of us that I'm talking about, who's experiencing this, who's feeling this. November 23rd, I mean, it wasn't just a new moon that was peaking in its highest, energy peak. And by the way, it's all depending on time zone, right? It's all the same. So for those who may have been in the East Coast, that would be November 23rd. But on November 23rd also, there the planet of Pluto was also went direct. So there were, many planets that were retrograde. And so when a planet goes retrograde, it's just about going within, and depending what the planet represents, right? And in your house or anywhere else in your birth chart, if you're familiar with it, those are the areas that are impacted. So it could be a review of those specific areas in relation to Pluto, because Pluto is all about going, into the unknown, into the abyss, kind of is the word that keeps coming up. And it's more like this unconscious, self to us. So it does also affect the dreams. And we also have the planet of Neptune, that is another planet of the subconscious level, and that is more of this dreamy type planet as well. And I've been having some really serious, intense dreams that are just so clear. They're just incredibly clear. And I was having this one specific dream about with water, and a lot of these planets like the Neptune is about water. So water is a purification, it's a cleanser. And so that's why I feel symbolically, with a lot of the flooding that is occurring on this planet, right now physically, is also another symbolism of the cleansing and the purification that, the planet is going through as well, and is also going through us too. And so Neptune, that is also, I believe, in retrograde, and it's about to go direct in, I believe it's in December 3rd, if I look here. So yeah, so it's going to move forward. And a lot of planets actually are going to start moving forward in December and in January. So that means there's going to be a lot of forward movement and action. So a lot of the things that were being reviewed or being within are going to be into this momentum of wanting to do more action. It may not be for everybody who's feeling that. Mars will still be in retrograde, and as I've talked about, Mars to me is strategizing certain actions or new actions, so that when the time feels right and your own divine timing, you will take those strategic actions into your new reality, your new identity of how you identify yourselves, and is based more on your own expansion of your own awareness and awakening within your own soul, or aspects of your soul, and just stepping more into your mission, into your own purpose, and feeling that calling of the heart is what I call it. The heart purpose is the heart be so in tune to your own purpose of your own soul. And so with the Mars, energy being a planet of review, is that since it's retrograde, it's the planet of reviewing certain actions that we may have taken, in the past, and those actions that have led to certain results in our life. And those results could be, what we consider to be challenges or situations that we find ourselves that are no longer suitable for us. And so, at times we find ourselves beating ourselves up for making those choices. And honestly, it's not something to dwell on or to be beating ourselves about, because that also is lowering our energy. So right now is what these a lot of these planets are telling us, is to really be stepping more into our creative energy, and rising from the polarity and the duality of what I November to me was a lot of some of this as well, some of this challenging events coming up more so, because November being 11 is a, if you add them up, it equals to 2, and that's duality. But 11 is also a master number. So it's also mastering that duality within ourselves and the polarity within, and that being the shadow and the light within ourselves. Because the battle is inside of us first, in order for us to maintain ourselves balanced on the outward outward, type world outside of us. And then we are able to rebalance those energies within ourselves. And that is the keys to maintaining that balance inside ourselves, despite of whatever polarity or duality may be occurring outside of us. And so December, if you add up the 1 plus the 2, that equals to 3. So 3 to me is about the creation. And so that is where I feel like there is this bigger impulse for us to step more fully into our creative force of energy. So the 3 things to know, right, to prepare for the year of 2023, because 2023, it equals to 7. And so to me, when it's number 7, has to do with spiritual cycles, because in certain aspects, a lot of the ancients knew that every 7 years or every 7 days, is a very symbolical number of cycles. If you look at the days of the week, we have 7 days, and in those 7 days, we conclude a cycle and we start a new one. And so I feel that this is some big completion of a big spiritual cycle in our life, of another 7th cycle for us, in spiritually speaking, that we identify ourselves with the old matrix energy that was, it felt right at the time, but now that we are blossoming, I guess is the word that's coming up, our soul is blossoming, and we are feeling more of this different calling of a different purpose and stepping more into a different direction. And so that that year feels like it will be this re-identifying ourselves into this new identity of this new calling that we're feeling. So here's the number 1 thing to get ready for that, for the energy, these new energies for 2023, because every year we get these new intense load of energies, and it's not just through the planets, it's through the different portals, right? December is going to bring some really big portals of energies that are anchoring in the golden age for all of us, being into these higher frequency of energies onto the new earth frequency. And so December 12th is going to be one of them, 1212 portal, and the solstice portal, which is going to be really big. And so these are some really intense portal energies for it. So the number 1 thing to keep in mind as we prepare to enter in 2023 is, number 1, to start to get focused on for instance, like working on your focus energy of certain intentions that you wish to set for in order to prepare for the year. And so now I've gone away from goals, and so, or resolutions, as people say, New Year resolutions or goals. I don't personally, resonate with those words anymore. So I set the word as intention because it feels more in flow. So that is, that water energy again. And so the focus is to focus on those intentions and the outcome of what it is that you wish to recreate in yourself, and that new identity and that calling, because in that focus too, are you able to get to that true calling within your heart. And so a lot of these Neptune energy supports that too, with this, energy of the planets. It could be like easily dropping within yourself and tuning in through a meditation or through a yoga, or even just like watching a play. For instance, if you're into like the holiday seasons of like the Nutcracker, for instance, I'll just give this as an example. I was actually watching the Nutcracker as a play, and I got just so focused just on watching the rhythm of the dance and the ballet movement that I dropped into myself so quick into this, and I was feeling so in tune to my higher guidance in that moment of stillness and receptivity without even like thinking about it. and I was able to receive downloads of information. So that is, an example of something that you could do. And it could be other things like just walking out in nature. So whatever works for you, right? I'm just showing this as an example. The importance is to maintain and keep that focus. So the number 2 thing to also put into practice now is to really get yourself grounded and embodied for these new energies that are coming forward. And being grounded is simply by, being outdoors, being by the plants, by trees and so forth. So if you're not able to go outside because it's too cold or something, then having plants around you also helps support some of the grounding and the energies. And so, this, and also setting those intentions of this grounding, and even through meditation and being able to just put that intention, that focus in the grounding. So if you're able to do, if you're ever, once you achieve the number 1 thing, which is, getting that focus and jumping into that, moment, then you could use that time for also the grounding in yourself. So the number 3 thing is to, it's very important because I've been doing all of these, and this is to drink plenty of water. And I feel that water has really been helping. Hence, the emphasis of all the water all around us, right? All the energies. So I feel like water has really been helping me a lot with these new energies. So it's very important to emphasize that, about the water and drinking plenty of it, because our body is made mostly of water. So it makes sense to have, lots of water as well to maintain that balance of energy. So yeah, these are the 3 things that I want to share about as we enter into December's new energies and about to go into 2023's, energies of upgrades, and preparing for that. So I hope that this video was useful. Feel free to share your comments and let me know how things have been for you with these energies. And I look forward to connecting with you in the next video, which I will be talking more focused in the month of December and jumping into some other videos. So if you like this, please click like and share with others, and subscribe so that you are in the know of the new videos coming up. So stay tuned. Sending you all so much love. Bye for now.